Okay, so I've my home gym here, and I've looked on a lot of forums about how to build some mirrors for your home gym that isn't getting, a professional install, a professional making it, and just all in all trying to make it a bit simpler. So there's lots of information on Facebook groups, Reddit, things like that. But I just want to make a quick video just to show how I've done it in case it's useful to anyone else in the future. So here we have my rack, and behind my rack we have it's maybe about 3.5 meters wide of a wall, and I have some leftover plywood or OSB or whatever people call it, and I've kind of cut out a section there which is maybe 1.8 meters high. I think it's 2.3 meters wide. That wasn't particularly important. That was just what I had in terms of leftover plywood. Obviously I didn't decide the video at the time, but now I am. And I've just, completely over screwed it to the wall. Not actually quite sure how long those screws are. I can check in a second, but yeah, look, I mean, there's, rows and rows of them. It's been in this state for, months and months. So I'm pretty confident this isn't going to fall off the wall. Okay, so I've measured the whole wall here, and I'm just kind of marked with this tape and this cable stay or whatever they're called. This very center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix a piece of scrap wood I have, just to get a level, and that'll really help me have somewhere to get a bit of support for the mirrors when I hold them, and you'll see why in a second. And yeah, obviously all level so we can get on to hanging the mirrors. Okay, so I already knew where the center was. There's actually a small mark there somewhere where it is. I know how wide the mirrors are, so I've just marked over here where the edge of this first mirror is going to go. And then just in terms of the mirrors we're looking at, we have these IKEA LETTAN mirrors. I think these are 80 centimeters by 95 centimeters. So, I'm going to end up with 3 across the top, 3 across the bottom, and then obviously 2 vertically when you look at it like that. So we could have got one big mirror, but I wouldn't need to move the rack, wouldn't need to do all that kind of stuff. So pretty happy with where we are so far. We'll see how it all turns out. Then in terms of adhesive we're using this Evo stick. I had a different one earlier, but when I reread some of the people online, and they were talking about this with the 15 minutes setting. So, I'm hoping it doesn't take very long to set. Obviously, ideally you'd press something against it, but with a mirror that might be difficult. So really looking for something that sets quite quickly. Yeah, so you can see me here with just each mirror. I've just glued to the back, and I'm using that piece of timber there as support. I'm really just pressing against the wall, and this stuff set very quickly, which I was extremely happy with. Okay, so that's the first one up, and I guess we'll just repeat this from now on. So here you can see me, I just applying a bit of glue to each part of the backing. Also did the back of the mirror and then place it up. I think if I had my time over here, I'd probably take a little more time just to line them up. Gaps end up being a little smaller, and maybe I shouldn't have used a piece of scrap wood and actually, done this with the piece of wood that went the length. But ultimately, it's only me who's going to be looking at it, so works pretty well for my purposes. So just rinse and repeat here. And there we have one more up. Maybe gaps, they're not too bad, but the best I can do, and we'll just finish these off now. Okay, one day on, this is what we have. So it looks pretty good from a distance. I think certainly some things I'd do differently if I was doing it again. Just try to get that gap or that seam a little bit tighter, but no, pretty happy.